about the ones that are likely to be coming at E3 and the ones that we the rumors and speculation that we hope as well. So Alexa, Mike, are you ready to speculate on the electronic triple?
Yes.
Let's get our speculation in. So here's some real obvious softballs, likely games / maybe that haven't been confirmed, but chances are. You enjoy Final Fantasy. We just talked about it. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Guess we're going to see it.
Maybe. I don't know. Given the track record with showing that game and just Square's track record showing those games in general.
Let's not even start about the crack record.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think we'll get a release date. Maybe they'll show some footage, but I still think that game is a very long way off.
Right. Another one then we're probably going to see, I believe. I mean, Microsoft are going to be coming at this pretty hard. They're one of the few companies still involved in E3 proper. Gears of War 4, they've shown it off already. They showed it last E3 was when they showed the darkest gameplay of all time.
Yes, dark trailer.
Yeah, I was like, why? I can't see anything. Like, you're shooting bats. Like, show us something else. You fan of the series, Mike? You think they're going to show it off?
I've played them all.
I mean, it's coming out later this year.
Yeah.
So they should probably get on it.
Yeah.
I'll play it. They keep saying, like, the main draw with this one is they're saying they're returning to, like, the horror roots of the first game, which the first game wasn't really a survival horror game.
But that's a weird sentence.
The horror roots of Gears.
Yeah,
That's what they were telling, because that's also, like, Rod Ferguson was saying that doing Ultimate Edition of the first game was kind of them backtracking a little bit to those roots. I mean, like, the scene with the Berserker for the first game, and that was... I guess scary. Horror elements, yeah. So, but they said they're going all out with this one and
fighting
the game's as dark as that trailer.
The smallest train in the world. That was horrifying.
Yeah,
in ways that
the krill would tear you apart when you're in the dark.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'm curious about that one too. I can't say I'm excited yet.
That could go either way.
Yeah.
I feel like the beta didn't really light anyone's expectations on fire or anything.
No, the beta was a lot of fun. It was fun, but it was also like. Like, what is it? Like, why am I coming back?
Yeah, I was like, I remember playing this in 2006. Yeah. So
it's also tough because the first game kind of redefined what a third-person shooter could be. So now how do you replicate that?
Yeah, how do you do that again?
Or improve on it?
Another game, actually, of a very interesting game that I'm very excited about. Guerrilla Games have been working on so many franchises over the years, and I feel like for the longest time they worked on franchises that like certain people were excited about, but never got like the sort of mass hysteria that people. Yeah, exactly. Killzone was a game that like Sony was pushing a lot, and like Killzone 3 looked wonderful, and Killzone 2 looked wonderful. Maybe not as good as it did when they first showed it off. But with Horizon Zero Dawn, there seems to be like a genuine sort of excitement bubbling about this game. Not just because of how it looks, but the interesting way in how it plays. Alexa, are you excited for Horizon?
Very excited. It's different. It looks different. Like every E3, people parade out the trailers and we think, oh, it's another Gears or it's another thing. It's a whatever. But I feel like this trailer, when they showed it last year, was the first genuine moment of that, besides the Fallout announcement, was when we were actually looking at something like, oh, this is new. This is something different. So yeah, I'm totally excited about it.
It's going to be interesting. Is this the latest game? Was the last game they made Shadowfall?
I think so.
I think Shadowfall might have been the best Killzone. I really enjoyed Shadowfall. I thought it was... No? What do you think, Mike?
I prefer 3.
Okay. Decent game. I mean, I feel like they figured that series out as they went along.
Sure.
I guess I wasn't a massive fan of the first game. So that's Horizon Zero Dawn coming. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Look at that. Look how pretty that world looks.
I hope it's soon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Lawbreakers. I mean, playing that Overwatch video game, a lot of people are... I feel like maybe Gearbox's one didn't take off quite as much. We'll know about that pretty soon.
Battleborn.
Yeah, Battleborn. It's I was looking at Steam
I forgot it existed.
Spy and looking at the sales. It doesn't look like it's doing super hot. Who knows? Consoles. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Best of luck to them. But this whole area of like, I don't know. It's obviously that's more in the MMO space. Overwatch is very much a class shooter. Lawbreaker seems like it's kind of a mix between a class shooter and an arena shooter, which is something Cliff Bleszinski is used to, obviously being part of the creative leads involved in the Unreal Tournament franchise. You guys excited at all about Lawbreakers? Want to break the law? Break the law of gravity? Shoot some people? Mike?
Yeah. So I wasn't until I read a preview. Scott Butterworth did a preview, said he was pleasantly surprised. And then at PAX East, I got to play it. It's really fun. It's the thing they keep saying is like it's all about the verbs, which most games are. But they say like it's very much this kinetic kind of mobility.
Right.
It feels more like Doom to me than but with interesting like classes. Not because Doom multiplayer I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah.
Despite how much I love Doom, but. It feels more like that. It's just that it's kind of a floaty, really not Twitch based, but like it's not a crazy fast time to kill. It feels as like I think we're in like the middle of the shooter renaissance this year with so many games.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And there's like a bunch
Shooter
coming
renaissance.
up. Yeah, I don't know.
Nobody expected Doom
No.
to be as good as it was.
No.
Like, what that is like the craziest, like most shocking thing ever.
Yeah.
Like that's happened in years in first person shooters for me was how good Doom was. And Overwatch is a classic.
Yeah.
Like Overwatch is a Team Fortress too.
And I would say if you're enjoying Overwatch and Doom like myself, I was switching between them all weekend. I
Yeah,
think
me too.
Lawbreakers you'll be super into. Or if you're like an old school Quake fan, you'll like this.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm really looking forward to this. I mean, the Unreal Tournament alpha is really good, but it definitely seems like it's looking backwards. I like the idea of somebody taking that and looking forwards a bit. So guess we'll find it. Hopefully we'll find it during E3. We don't know if this stuff's going to be shown. Recore. That's I mean, Keiji Inafune working on this one as well. Mighty Number 9 is finally coming out, right?
There's
right.
between that and then like the Red Ash Kickstarter debacle, and then like everything else. Like I don't think it's a Keiji Inafune game so much as it is like Keiji Inafune is overseeing it or just like
Attached
producing
to
it or attached to it in some way.
Probably a good thing.
I wish all the best for this game.
Yeah.
Much better than Mighty Number 9.
Yeah. We'll have to see. I mean, yeah, that was a game, that we saw a bunch of trailers for, and
No
it
gameplay,
looked. No, I mean, Mighty Number 9 was back in the day, and then there was a sort of expectation, and it never really met it. Whereas Recore, we've seen trailers, and we haven't seen gameplay, and who knows? Like maybe it doesn't end up coming out as big as we want. Obviously, bigger budget than Mighty Number 9, but yeah, we'll have to wait and find out. Another game that sort of exists in that weird world, but we have seen gameplay for, is Scalebound, and Microsoft sort of banged that drum real hard when it first came out. I feel like, was it Gamescom last year is when they showed a big chunk of it, I think. Yeah, I think I was at that presentation. Are you guys excited about that? I feel like that's more in your wheelhouse, certainly, than mine. Are you excited about it?
I'm excited about it because it's a Kamiya joint. And I got to like go to the studio last September and like talk to them about Scalebound and whatnot. And their vision for it sounds really cool. Like it sounds like the game is being made by a group of people that are like, these are our childhood dreams, and like this is what we thought would be cool, and like they're making it into a game. And that's cool to me because like we're all kids at heart when we play video games. Also, it's an RPG. I'm gonna play it because it's an RPG and it came from Japan, so I feel like I have to play it. But there's some things that I'm just sort of like, well, like the main character seems a little
right.
He's like Dante.
He's
kind
like
of.
he's like Dante.
He's like cool, but in a really not likable way.
Yeah, I'm
it's like
cool,
the opposite
but
side
also-
of. Because I was really surprised by Sunset Overdrive how they managed to actually hit that one kind of right.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of a dork and he's a bit like cool for school, but he's
But
actually,
they ran with it. They were like, we commit to the dork.
It like worked.
This guy is just like derpy-ish.
Yeah, he's not.
He's a little derp.
I would not call him up to hang out.
No,
It's like an
I wouldn't.
unpopular Sigma Chi in a suit of armor.
Right. Yeah.
Perfect.
There you go. Nice. Put it on the
Amazing.
box. There you go. It's a freebie.
But
Microsoft.
the dragon combat, like we've seen footage of flying on the dragon and the dragon fighting, and we haven't seen the multiplayer either.
Right. Have we seen Dragon Combat?
Yeah, I mean, like you fight and then the dragon fights and it does some stuff.
Oh yeah.
I want to. They talk a lot about the dragon and stuff the dragon can do, and like different colors for the dragon, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. They've said
That's
so
the
much
hottest
about it.
thing.
I want to see more of like the game's sort of story. Like we know it's a dude and his dragon. Didn't they made that was the movie Pete's Dragon?
How to do your dragon?
Boy and his dragon. How to do your dragon?
Yep.
Basically, that's what they should call it. How to do your dragon.
They should. I mean, or The Last Guardian. They could just call that.
How to do your dog, cat,
dragon,
bird.
Yeah, thing.
Dog, bird.
Let's not talk about that.
Man, bear.
We're probably going to see it at E3.
The Last Guardian.
Yeah. Right.
I'm just whatever.
Right.
It's okay.
I wonder if we're going to see a bunch of No Man's Sky now because that's been delayed. I wonder if they're going to have to like go, whoa, all right.
What
This is
more?
coming out in early August. You're going to have to show us a little bit more.
I don't know. Considering the way the last week went with them, maybe they won't. Maybe they just won't.
Yeah, I don't know if they're coming into town for it. So
No, but if power to them for saying we need more time.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the biggest game that studio's ever made by a mile. They've like tripled in size, I think. I mean, they're still not a big team, but they've definitely grown. So yeah, take your time. Okay, let's get into the weird world of rumors. Okay,
Yes.
rumors. Deep Silver are going to announce something new. That's what that is being floated around at the moment. A lot of people are saying.
Okay.
So we look back at their old games, you're thinking there's Saints Row, which we sort of beat that drum a good bit. There's Metro series. There's Dead Rising, Dead Island. Where do we think that might? What would you like to see from them? I'm kind of done with Saints Row. I love Saints Row, but I'm kind of like.
I think it went out on I think it ran its course. I think Gat Out of Hell was like, all right.
Yeah, that might have been
Let's
one
put that
step
book
too
on the
much
shelf.
almost.
Yeah.
Like 4 might have just been enough.
Yeah.
And the guy hell was like, yeah, okay.
Just a little more?
Party's over.
Okay.
Go home. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be excited for a new Metro game. What about you?
Yeah, oh man, I was just gonna say Metro Last Light is one of my favorite games. We talked about earlier when Jimmy was talking about the 1070, like running that on the 1080 or trying to run it at full capacity on the 1080. And
Still can't be done.
No,
on one card.
I think Metro Last Light. Maybe it's just my instinct that to fill out a trilogy, they need a new game. But if they did, I would not be, because two's. If you haven't played Last Light, that ending is just one of my favorite things in a shooter ever. But I would be super excited if they announce a new one. I think like those are something like there are traces of like Half-Life in those games, like and how they tell the story and how you're playing that game and the pacing. I really hope that's what it is.
Let's talk about some of the big guns. Rockstar Games, Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, they're going to be launching GTA Online stuff for that for eons. I wonder if we're going to see any single player DLC. I kind of feel like we won't, because it doesn't really make that much money in comparison to what they're doing with the GTA Online stuff. But can you see anything else from them? I mean, the big one is like Red Dead Redemption, right? Like everyone wants a new Red Dead game.
Yeah, it might be that. I think it's too early for GTA 6. I would like to see story DLC for GTA 5. I feel like the longevity of GTA Online in the game itself, I feel like if they wanted to commit themselves to single player narrative DLC for that game, they could, and they'd be fine because people liked it.
I mean, GTA 4, the Battle of Gay Tony was fantastic. The biker one, what was it called? Lost and Damned was really good too. Well, Red Dead as well. You'd be like, is it time? Like, this is their problem, right? Is that they have this suite of franchises, the ones that worked and the ones that didn't work. They got the Warriors sitting over here. They got Bully, who's kind of like somewhere in the middle, and then they've got the sort of big guns. Do you think they have to go for another Red Dead, or do you think, maybe they'll show off something else? And again, this being Rockstar, who generally tend not to announce big things at E3 either, right?
Yeah, that's what sort of makes me a little hesitant about it. Like maybe it's not one of those big things. Maybe it's something different. I thought it might be Agent, but I'm pretty sure Agent is dead.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, GTA 5, they basically just said, we're going to put this trailer up at this time. Everyone come and watch it. Like, they're big enough where they can do that. So I guess we'll have to find out. Another big one, of course, being Todd Howard's team. They have packed Fallout 4 is done and dusted. The DLC for that game, I'm sure, is being handled by a smaller team. Whenever they seem to be done, they roll them out onto a new big project. And when they finished up Skyrim, they all started work on Fallout 4. Fallout 4 is now done. Are we going back to the Elder Scrolls?
That's my wild card for the show is Elder Scrolls 6, The Abyss or whatever. It's kind of soon to announce an Elder Scrolls, obviously based on the pattern, but I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. I'd be surprised, but pleasantly surprised. And
the Bethesda we have now is a different Bethesda than what we had like 5 years ago, where they could just rest on one game every couple of years. I mean, they have these press conferences now, and granted, they've also like expanded, and they have id Software, and they've been working with other teams around the world. When they had games like Wolfenstein and stuff, that's underneath their purview, but that's being made by a totally different team in Europe. It's not even part of id. So like they do have a lot of stuff going on, but you feel like Bethesda, if they are going to do another one of these big events, they really need. I mean, they can't just have like Elder Scrolls Online stuff.
They need stuff.
Yeah, like a big game. So
because it's just Dishonored 2 right now.
Yeah, and maybe there's some Doom stuff. I don't know.
As far as like new games,
right? Yeah.
Tango Gameworks hasn't announced what they're working on yet. Could be Evil Within successor or whatever.
Right. Yeah. But again, that's on that sort of BC tier, right? Of like of games. So yeah. Hopefully that'll be amazing. I mean, last year they stole the show, so I bet they probably like to do it all over again. Let's talk about some of these Japanese games you got down here, Alexa. I love this. I can always count on you for this. Nier Automata, new Nier game.
I love Nier. It was weird and stupid and amazing, and I'm so happy they're doing a sequel. This game is actually being made by Platinum.
Oh right,
Platinum's making Nier Automata. There was a not a press conference, but while I was unconscious, there was a some new gameplay trailers went out, and it looked really cool, and it looks like a really good real-time action game.
Excellent.
So I'd like to see more of that. Kingdom Hearts 3, just hoping. Of course, that's my wild card. It's the thing I hope to see. Final Fantasy VII Remake, I'd love to see something. Persona 5, that game comes out in Japan in September.
God, of course.
So if it's coming out this year, then I think Atlas would be kind of silly not to show it in some capacity at E3. I would love it if it was playable.
Hopefully it's not too loud, because it's beside our booth on the show floor.
They are beside our booth.
Yeah. So I had to listen to that Persona 4 dance.
The Persona 4
game
dancing all night
over
game.
and over and over again.
But you got to see the Teddy.
They did have a Teddy dancing, and so whenever I'm interviewing people in the background, it was Teddy just doing his thing.
Amazing.
He was pretty good.
That's those are my hopes. My hopes and my dreams.
Not as far east, but a little bit, well, depending on where you are, I guess, is our good friends in Warsaw, CD Projekt Red. Cyberpunk 2077, obviously something that they have been, there's a lot of fandom behind. All they've ever shown is that one trailer, which is pretty cool with that Bullet song. Great job, all that hype. Also, though, there was an earnings call or like an investor thing they had back in March where they talked about a brand new game, a new project, which was something that they said like isn't going to be like any of the other franchises they've worked on before. So I don't know what the hell that thing is, whether it's going to be a smaller thing or a bigger thing. Maybe they'll show that thing off as well.
Yeah,
whatever that is.
I bet it's
like a different genre, or they
sounded like it. Yeah, they did a presentation. Marcin Nowinski did back in, and I talked to him. I tried to talk to him about it during GDC, and he was having none of it.
Same here.
Right.
I interviewed him about Blood and Wine, but he wasn't talking about like Cyberpunk or
They're
anything
so
else.
good. They are so good at being just like totally mum.
Totally. I mean, even with The Witcher 3, like they have the sort of PR release things so good.
They've got it down,
and they've delivered.
Yeah.
With The Witcher 3. So I think that's why people are even more excited about Cyberpunk than they were before. But yeah, so we don't know what that thing is. We don't know what genre it is. I got the impression it was a different genre. I got the impression it wasn't like a spin-off of any of their other games. It was like a brand new thing. I mean, who knows? They might make it bloody... I was about to say collectible card game, but they already made Gwent.
Yeah.
so it can't be that.
Oh no, you said it's not a spin-off, because that'd be amazing if they did like Gwent Mobile or like an actual like Gwent game.
Would it though?
How much
I've played
money,
enough Gwent.
How much money would they make though? That's like instant money.
Bloody Baron, that goddamn Gwent card. That'd be great. They said, we'll see, but Cyberpunk not coming out this year, they've said as well, so maybe we won't see it. We'll have to see. Anything else you guys are thinking about? I mean, we haven't talked about the hardware yet. The PlayStation 4.5 Neo stuff seems to be pretty set on. I mean, there's been so many random sources that have come out about it at this stage, right?
Yeah. I think that. I mean, and then all the Xbox One. There's an Xbox Slim.
Yeah. Xbox Slim. There's the
about?
new one maybe next year. There's now all this chat about virtual reality coming out of Microsoft, which there wasn't forever.
HoloLens?
No, separate to that, it seems like. Yeah.
Huh.
Pete Brown, him being the expert on a lot of these things, he was saying Microsoft could kind of like steal the show if they show off the stream box, like that Crackdown 3 will purportedly use. But also, like, I think they would need to be careful about not using the word cloud, because that every time someone says that, I just kind of start fading away. But
wait, have they said that now the Crackdown 3 like physics? Like,
well, remember the multiplayer trailer? They said that was all cloud stuff, so that's why you could destroy everything.
Yeah, but you said a separate box.
Nope. So Pete was saying like there were rumors about a stream box. Yeah.
Right.
So like I don't know.
Just for like playing games. Oh, like
it's
streaming games.
I don't
like
know
on
if
live.
I don't know. I don't know if it's an attachment
no.
or like so you could. I don't know. I wish Pete was here because he could describe it way better than me. You can essentially like you could use that cloud data to actually like negate the memory you need on your Xbox. It like supplements it or something.
Right.
So like I don't know if they did something like that. That would be pretty. That might be the thing that sets them apart from Sony, because I feel like Sony got out ahead of the game with their 4.5 stuff.
And that seems like an obvious increment, but one of the questions here from Avengers for the Win, very salient, says, my question is, why would they release an Xbox Slim when they're just going to release a new Xbox next year? Because that's what we're hearing, is that, and who knows, right? This might be the same rumor that's getting split up somewhere along the line, like a crazy game of telephone, but apparently they're saying that we're going to have some sort of slim version this year and then
the new one
next year. Like if that's the case, the messaging around this is obviously 2 weeks from now we'll know exactly what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, that does seem like they'd be doing a disservice to the SKU they're going to release this year, right?
Right. But it's also the same as like the whole PlayStation 4.5 thing. The 4.5 Neo, whatever we're calling it, is graphics. Like that's why it's being released. It's being released for graphics and maybe improved memory and nothing else. Like it's not going to have the Sony, or rumors are saying that like Sony has, I think Austin Walker's awesome piece said that Sony has already told developers that they cannot make exclusives for either one. Everything has to be the same. Like they have to have a mode for normal and regular for every game that comes out. And it's like I don't know. Like I feel like it's too early. I feel like it's too early still.
And
it's 2016.
I didn't until Uncharted and Doom came out. And then I was like, oh no, we're good. Like both these games, like Doom runs at 60 and looks amazing. There's a bit of texture pop on the console version, as there is actually on the PC version, but like it's fine. Uncharted 4 looks amazing. I mean, you wouldn't want to play that game at 60. Like, that sounds crazy, and the internet would jump all over me for it. But like, I love that game the way it is. Exactly, I think it's perfect.
I'm always curious how much that the competition is pushing these companies. I mean, I'm sure it happens all the time, but I'm wondering how much that the Sony catching wind of the Sony news caused Microsoft to say, "Shit, we should just make the Xbox smaller or something to try to compete until next year."
Yeah, you might be right. Microsoft is leagues and leagues and leagues behind Sony.
Yeah.
At this point, so they need to come out on par with them. They need to be on par and come out at the same time and be in lockstep with Sony, or they're never, ever, ever going to catch up.
Yeah,
at
I
this
mean,
point.
the biggest problem they had forever was that they were basically playing catch up from the
Yeah.
Matric era as well, ever since they, the new sort of leads came in here. So,
And then there's
yeah.
NX.
And
then leading up the
NX
back.
doing its own thing. Who knows? Maybe Nintendo will pull a complete whoop on us, and it's like, here it is. It's the NX. It's a watch. It's a watch.
It could be.
Game and Watch. We're back.
It could be because we
Game and Watch wasn't a watch, but whatever.
Could be one now.
2 weeks. 2 weeks.
A little less than 2
Little less than 2 weeks. Oh yeah, by this time we'll know so much already. It's going to be beautiful.